Looking for marketing strategies for your damage restoration home services business? Today's episode's all about the top strategies that are working today in 2023 and going to be working in 2024. Let's dive into it.
This isn't just any podcast. This is your secret weapon for dominating the market.
This is the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast, and this is your host, Sean McMeen.
Welcome to Restoration Marketing Secrets. I am your host, Sean McMeen. I'm super excited. Today is episode number 30 of our podcast. So glad that you've been following along on this journey. If you have not watched previous episodes, go back and watch them. There's some golden nuggets in there, some information that I am just sharing, and this is exactly what we do for the companies that we help grow. And it's my way of giving back and sharing my journey along the way, whether it has to do with my family, my business, everything and above. But today's episode is all about what are the top marketing strategies that you can do online for your damage restoration business to actually grow. We're going to do a several part series on this, and this is just straight up, this is what works in 2023 going into 2024 and will work in 2024. There will be changes, but this will work. It's about consistency. It's about doing the long game in mind and not necessarily like some gray hat special tactic that's gonna die in a month. Okay, so this is me talking to you as a business owner to business owner saying, what should I focus on? And then we're going to break down specifically from a job types perspective, whether it's water, mold, fire, home remodeling, roofing, all of those types of things. We're going to have an episode for each one of them, what works the best for each of them. So this episode is going to be a high level overview of all the services that are working today and some nuances about it. Okay. Then we're going to go to the next episodes that'll be specifically about job types. All right. So let's get into it here. Again, I'm thankful for 30 episodes, and this episode is about the top marketing strategies that are going to be working for your damage restoration home service remodeling business. So number one, having a website. You need to have a website, whether it's a GoDaddy page, whether it's a WordPress website, whether it's something else. You need to have a website that has your company name in the title of the website, the area that you service, or the location that you service. Then you should be having, as time allows, again, you don't have to, if you're just starting out, you don't need all of this, but this is what works. You need to have a website because it is the hub of your online activity. So have the homepage, have service pages for each and every service that you provide with some short description of those services that you provide and where you provide it at. You need to also have location pages for all the main towns within your service area. Talk about all the services that you provide in that town. The next thing you need to do is have helpful content to help build your authority. So if you have a service page for water damage restoration, make sure you're at least once a month producing a piece of content about water damage restoration. Commonly asked questions. So a great tip for this, if you go out to Google and type water damage restoration, you'll see about halfway down the page below the map section, people also ask. Answer those questions on your helpful content. The next thing that works on your website is case studies about jobs that you've done. What was the problem? What was the solution? What was the aftermath? Okay? That's all about your website right there. There's many nuances about it, but that is about the website. That is what works today and will continue to be working throughout the rest of 2023 and into 2024. Next piece, online ads. Okay, so this can get expensive if you don't have a good strategy in mind. But I'm going to talk about the four main platforms that we see, and then just some caveats on each one of them. So paid ads, online ads, those types of things. What works? I'm going to start with the most important. Google local service ads or Google guaranteed ads. Get that set up, get certified for that. That is absolutely a must. Google PPC or Google ads. This can be very, very expensive, very, very expensive. And I'm saying that because if you don't have the correct strategy implemented for it, you will pay a lot for this position. Okay. Now, does it work? Absolutely, it does work. You have to know what keywords to go after. You have to know what keywords to block. You have to know your budgeting strategy. And at the end of the day, you have to answer the phone call because those are crazy expensive leads, but they absolutely do work. We see it all the time. So those are the top two areas for emergency restoration services. And again, we're going to talk about differences between all the different job types of which is the most effective and cost effective for all of these strategies I'm talking about here. But so let's get back into it. For online ads, paid ads, you got Google Guaranteed, you got Google PPC. Some areas Yelp works amazing. California, we've seen it work amazing. We've seen it out in the west side and different metropolitan areas. Yelp does work amazing for some areas. Now, is it better than Google Guaranteed? Absolutely not. But if you're in an area that Yelp is big, test it out. Try it out for yourself. The next piece is Facebook ads. I'm leaving Facebook ads in here because it is a branding play most of the times for restoration companies. Think about it. Water damage, you're not going to go anywhere but your phone usually to search, and you're not usually going to go to social media. But it is a branding strategy, and there is a time and place when you want to use that. Now, for other services, Facebook ads are a great way to generate leads. So we'll talk about those depending on the job types and future episodes here. The next area is local SEO. What is local SEO? It's about getting yourself to show up in the map section and the organic section on the Google search engine. First page or no page. If you're not at the top of the section with the Google Maps section, you're basically invisible in emergency services. Not necessarily true for home remodeling and some other services, but for local SEO, the primary focus should be on Google Maps, making sure that is completely filled out, optimized correctly, doing Google posts and those types of things. Organic SEO comes from all those things that you're doing on your website, and believe it or not, it comes from your map section too. So those signals that you're sending back and forth between your website and your map help you with organic. The content you're putting on your website help you with organic. But again, for emergency services, this is not the number one priority. So again, we'll break it down by water damage, all of those areas of where to focus first. The next section, I'm talking pretty fast here. I'm running out of breath because I want to get through all of these things without holding you back on time. So the next section is reputation management. You need to be getting reviews for your clients, from partners, business partners, from acquaintances, networking, family, friends, all of the above. Ask the first time a client gives you a compliment, whether you showed up on time, showed up early. As soon as they give you a compliment, hey, we want to help out people just like you. Let us get this job. Would you mind submitting a review? Obviously, not let us get this job. Let us, there's timing. So you don't want to ask for the review before you actually do some of the work, right? And stop the problem from happening. But ask for the review. It's just as important as spending, $100 per click in Google Ads, right? It's actually more important because it doesn't cost you to ask for a review. It costs you your time to ask it and your follow-up to ask them to do it if they don't do it the first time. So these are worth their weight in gold and a major ranking factor across local SEO and Google Guaranteed, which is two important areas we already talked about. Do it via text message, reputation management. Do it via text message and email. If they have Gmail accounts, do it via email. So that way they go to your Google Ads profile and it's super easy for them. All right, let's get into the next one. Social media. Social media is mainly a branding play. And by that, I mean, you're not going to get emergency restoration leads. Now, if you do a different type of service, if you're doing also home remodeling, kitchen remodeling, again, I'm spreading this out across multiple home services here, like roofing and water damage and damage restoration, because we have many companies that interchange between those services. And so depending on the service, social media is a priority. And we'll talk about that depending on the job types. The Facebook, Instagram, X, or Twitter are the three main platforms. Obviously, Google Posts is another piece of this. I'm not really using that into social media side, but that's another piece that comes into play. What do you want to be doing on these things? You want to be promoting your services, your reviews, your case studies, all of those things that you're doing on your website and your Google Maps section, promoting those on your social media to give you positive branding signals, okay? I talked about Facebook ads before, Facebook/Instagram ads. There is a time and place for that, and it's a branding play. So that's really what social media is used for nowadays in this specific industry. And so those are the 5 main areas that we focus on: website, online paid ads, local SEO, reputation management, and social media. There are many nuances in between all of those, but in the next few episodes, we're going to break it down what works best for each job type, whether it's water, mold, fire, restoration, recon, roofing, home remodeling, all the alike. And each episode is going to focus on a specific service, and then we're going to talk about the pros and cons of doing, Google Maps. The pros and cons of doing different types of marketing services for each of those job types that you could be experiencing, whether it's water, mold, fire, recon, roofing, home remodeling. Again, we have many companies that are playing in the same space, including plumbing. So that's what we're going to do on the next few episodes here. Hopefully this was helpful. These are the 5 areas that are working absolutely in 2023 and in 2024. So hopefully this was helpful. If you're not doing a strategy for these things right now, listen into the next few episodes about your specific service type that you're doing for your business. That's the most important. And I'm going to tell you exactly what's working, and pros and cons for each one of them. So until next time, this is Sean McMeen. Thanks again for following along with this journey, and I hope you got some value out of this.
You've been listening to the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast. Sean's not here to just talk the talk. He's walked the walk. With a track record of helping over 70 damage restoration companies and engaging in over 500 conversations with industry owners, he's seen it all. From digital marketing triumphs to the most ingenious growth hacks, he's got the keys to the kingdom, and he's sharing them with you. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, for more, hit the website at restorationmarketing.com. See you next time on the Restoration Marketing Secrets Podcast.